Welcome to the DVD commentary of Raising the... What, should I not...
You're kidding, right?
Should I not do the...
No!
Voice?
Do your regular voice.
I don't like my regular voice.
Well, no one likes this voice. So go back to the way you used to talk at Raising the Bar 1.
Okay.
Do it.
This is the DVD commentary for Raising the Bar 1.
See that?
A video by Mike Pulcinella. And we're going to be talking throughout the movie about our recollections of making Raising the Bar, the behind the scenes.
Jacked.
This is the very dramatic opening.
If you do say so yourself.
Which I do say so myself.
Again, thought he was done.
I'm going to try not to be too negative about this thing because at this point, it was the first thing I had ever done. And looking back on it, I was just rewatching a little bit of it, and it's, I would do things faster. I would cut things faster.
Oh, you can't do that. Part of the charm, though, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was the fact that you were raw at it, and it did have those things going on, which lended an air of kind of, this is a regular guy making this film about his brother, which I think was part of its appeal.
Absolutely. I think that's what, the naivete of going into it.
Rather than having it be all polished.
Now here's my question. We're seeing the scenes where I just started to film with you. It was like the first day. And I don't remember how I proposed this project to you. Do you remember how?
Well, that makes two of us because I have no idea either. I don't remember.
So I know you remember this day, me showing up at the camera for the first time. Did you ever think it would become anything? What did you think it was going to be?
Of course not. Well, I think I thought it was going to be what you thought it was going to be. You were going to film this thing leading up to the show, and you were going to edit it and put music to it, and it was going to be something the family could watch and laugh about, and me and you could laugh about and watch, and maybe a few other people outside of the industry might get an idea of what a competitive bodybuilder goes through.
Right.
I don't think too many people would see it, though.
No, not really. I would not have included that clip. That was a useless clip.
Oh, really?
That guy just wandering around. Why? What was that?
From this cramped
But in terms of editing, what that did nothing to add to the.
It shows that there are people wander around in that gym.
I guess
that's
so.
very important to show.
I guess you still had hair back
I have
then.
that shirt still. I really do. Globs of fat. I used to have that chart. Yeah.
Do you wear that shirt?
I haven't worn it. No. I got to break it out again. Oh, this is funny. Look, I had hair still, sort of.
Yeah.
I was still fighting the urge to shave it all the hell off.
Did any of this make you self-conscious when we were shooting it?
Not even a little bit. I don't know why, but I guess most people all of a sudden having a camera shoved in their face and every second of their lives filmed would be aware of it and self-conscious about it. I just wasn't. Maybe it's because you're my brother. I'm very comfortable with having you around. But I found myself very quickly being unaware that you were even there, which I guess is the best thing that could happen, right?
Yeah. I know I've said this a million times if anyone is a fan of this and have heard other interviews with me, but a lot of dramatic things happened which turned this into something more than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
In other preps that you had done in the past, did the same kind of
it's a really
dramatic
good
things
question,
happen and they just weren't captured on film?
I don't think, nothing like that. The only thing that comes close in my mind...
Wait, hold that thought, because I'm coming up. Hold on.
Me? Oh, yeah, you are.
Hey! Thank you for that
It's a
transformation.
good transformation.
Yeah, it was good. Go ahead.
You look nothing like that after picture now.
No, I don't.
The only thing that I can think of was the time I entered the Mr. Pennsylvania from the audience. But that wouldn't have been... That wasn't planned. So you couldn't consider that a prep. No, nothing like that ever happened. You just... It was dumb luck. It really was. That all the shit unfolded during this prep and during the actual day of the show. There's no way you could have planned that or written it in.
Yeah.
That's why many people have said, it was staged and fake. Right? I don't blame them for thinking that.
By the way, that story of you entering a contest from being in the audience is in your book, Beyond Raising the Bar, which you can get on Amazon. Little plug there.
Nice plug, dude.
So do you still see any of these guys? Do you still
Victor? No.
see Victor?
No, I'm okay with that.
I remember you said at one point that it was kind of unfortunate that I shot at exactly that time because those workout partners that you had, Victor and Adam, were not the kinds of guys you would normally have gathered around you as workout partners. That you've had better before and since.
Well, truth be told, one of the better ones I had was Alan, and the second two RTBs showcase him. So
absolutely showed that.
Yeah, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel with this.
You had some pictures.
I just needed I needed a spot, basically. So, I mean, yeah.
You had pictures done with that same photographer, right? Who does the smoke
I
and
did.
the naked
and he
stuff.
did the same exact techniques with me, too. The smoke and the...
I thought the slow motion would be so dramatic.
Yeah, it's not, no.
Not really.
I missed that shirt, man.
Oh, dude, that is such a carryover from, what, the 80s?
Yeah, so?
Did you actually wear that shirt in the 80s?
Probably.
And this was shot in 2000.
And then I got a duplicate of that, and it got stolen at a show.
Why did every bodybuilder wear that same shirt?
That shirt?
Like, they all had, you guys, that was like a uniform.
Oh, no. We wore that with cut-off jean shorts and construction boots.
Isn't that what one of the guys in, who's the band?
Yeah,
YMCA?
pretty much.
The Village People?
The Village People.
That's the construction guy in Village People.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some heavy lifting, but also a lighthearted attitude that I hadn't expected.
Adam, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for him that this whole movie kind of points up how pathetic he was.
Well, it's actually fortuitous that this happened because it is a story that happens all too commonly in the sport. So you got to showcase an example of it.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And he exhibited the exact thing that I see all the time where people think they can do a prep because they, A, played a sport, B, was in the military,
He was in the Marines.
C, did this, that, or the other thing.
Right.
But it's unlike anything that you've done. I don't care what it's been.
Yeah.
Or how hard, not to undermine what they did, but it's just not the same.
Getting on stage and putting it all on stage. You're the man who's going to do it for him, too.
Why are we eating sushi during prep?
What do you mean? It's
That's what I'm a
fish.
cheat
It's
meal.
protein.
I never eat meals out when I'm prepping.
We went to
This must be an anachronism. This must be, was this filmed after the show and then put in?
No, I think this
Or like
was,
way out in the prep?
I think it was pretty way out in the prep.
Okay.
It was February, and you were.
Oh, the show was July, yeah.
Well, that was a new thing, by the way. Seeing someone on a cell phone in the gym.
Oh, now everybody's on their cell phone.
was a new kind of thing that I hadn't
So
seen
much so
before.
they actually included it in the movie.
Yeah, it was actually to be pointed out.
Now people actually do sets while
Yeah.
on their cell phone.
I
Yeah.
have pictures of myself, of me at 18 years old, where I was going to do the Teenage Delaware.
I think I still have his pictures.
Do you really? You better
in
get
a
it back.
folder somewhere. I can't find him. He never answered the phone. I wanted to give him back his original photos from his family photo album. Poor guy.
But I'm getting back to where I was. I've been doing it seriously.
He's getting back into it.
Get back into it.
That's the one thing I hear people say in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
Getting back
Why
into
do
it.
you keep getting out of it, dude?
Definitely, my dad built me a whole gym in our parents' basement, in their basement. Had everything in there. And
Poor Adam. Whatever did become of him? I haven't seen it.
No, as if you haven't seen the movie before, as you will see, he disappears and never to be seen again.
Yeah.
He shows up at the contest, but then
He does.
he disappears once he realizes he's completely.
I don't know why he
I was
showed
wondering
up.
if Adam knew how difficult this was going to be.
Think he'll stick with it?
Well, I didn't know how difficult it was going to be.
Work required?
I don't know.
We went to that sushi restaurant so much that they knew you, and they would actually bring you out plates of specialty
They really?
specialty fish. They were, hey.
Look at Jen.
Oh, she's already
She's
disgusted.
like, how did I get dragged into this?
She's
shit?
already disgusted.
You can see it.
I know you can.
It just gets worse from there. This is raising the bar one. You imagine her by 3.
Oh,
She hated me.
she was so fed up with it.
Yeah.
On top of that, the workouts with the weights. I don't know, he might drop out. Lots of people do.
We were also lucky that they let us film in
Yeah,
like
you
restaurants
can't-
and stuff. It's
you
very hard to
can't-
do that.
The only place that turned us away, I think, was Costco.
Yeah, we got tackled to the
Pretty
ground.
much.
Pretty much by the
We learned you
Costco,
cannot have a camera in Costco. Apparently, they don't want you filming their food.
the Costco security guards almost physically kicked us out because I brought a camera.
Pretty much. That guy's still on his phone.
Ah, you see, that's called a callback.
Yeah, that's exactly
when you
what
edit
that-
and you put it, you know.
Oh, a mini tutorial in here, Mike.
Well, there are a few people listening to this, I hope, that are interested in how it was shot and edited. No?
That's when they used to put everything out on the table and you see it all dry. Now they make it fresh.
But I like it better that way because you can just pick up as much as you want whenever you want. You don't have to call them over and have to
True.
fill out a form every
But
time.
it's just fresher the way they do it now.
That's the guy.
You eat, you go. Look at his face.
He actually liked having us there. I made a
Yeah, I
little
guess.
joke at his expense.
Because his face was perfect for
I know.
that. So is this one of those scenes where you're like, yeah, I would have not done all of it?
No, well, not necessarily, because I thought this was a ritualistic part of what you guys did.
Holy, look at that. Yeah, it is.
And then there's a good speech in here where you talk about why I bodybuild, which I thought really needed to be
Oh,
there.
let's hear that.
To work over the next 20 weeks.
But say something interesting, Victor. Come on, you can do
That's what I
it.
love to do. I would do it whether I was putting it on stage, whether there was money involved in the sport, no money in the sport. I do it, and I eat the way I do, and I train the way I do to look a certain way. That to me is bodybuilding, and everything else is icing on the cake.
I just feel like, for me, I feel like it's more of who I am. It defines me to be a bodybuilder. So, without bodybuilding, I would feel like I would lose a part of me.
I guess that wasn't too bad.
For me not to do this. That would require discipline.
But it was things like that where you came up with really nice little speeches like that that I think made me start to realize that you'd be a good subject in more ways than one. I just thought it would be.
So you thought it would suck before that?
No, I just thought it would be interesting. And then I realized you were a really good subject. And I think you told me one time, I can say these things because I've been thinking about it for so much, for so long. It's been in my head for so long.
It comes off as insightful, but it's just because when you think about something in depth for 25 years,
Yeah.
you know?
And that is the truth about anything, I've realized.
Yeah.
That when you ask somebody a question about something they haven't been thinking about, they really don't have much to say
Right, you
about
can
it.
tell. I've never thought about this. You're making me think about this right now.
Right. But
there's not much about this that I haven't thought in depth about.
I have to mention right there's a little bit of special effects where the camera was shaking and some flashes. I regret doing that.
Why?
And it happens throughout. It happens a couple
Now,
more
why
times.
is that? Why do you regret it?
Because that's an attempt to make it more exciting than the footage was.
So it's kind of like a Hail Mary?
Yeah, it's kind of like, boy, this footage is kind of bland. Let's make it.
I'll shoot the camera.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And
That's funny.
during his posing routine at the contest, I did some terrible special effects that I really regret.
I think you did it on mine, too.
Yeah, I did it on everyone's because I wanted to be consistent. But when you find that your footage needs something to spice it up, what you really should do is go back and reshoot.
And reshoot. Okay.
But unfortunately, for something like this, you can't. In which case, if it's boring, you shouldn't use it. I was just trying to create a
Well, the
training.
Resident of R1 was a learning process.
Yeah, I was just trying to create a training montage.
Look,
This
if-
is actually a re-edit. After we screened this at Widener University for a bunch of students, and I had to sit in the audience and watch it with other people in the
Oh, you see it
auditorium.
from a totally different perspective.
Dude, I was sweating bullets.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
I was sweating
You
bullets.
see it through their eyes.
And I realized, this whole section has to
Oh.
go. This is terrible. No, this has to
Because
go.
you're thinking, what are they thinking?
And we need something more there. Oh my God.
Right.
It was received well, but it was not
It was.
ready.
I actually was surprised at how many people showed up and,
Yeah. But they do that with major films too. They do test screenings, and then people will fill out questionnaires
Right.
about what they didn't like and things like that. I think in the old days they used to have like a knob of from negative to positive,
Oh, really?
red to green, or something like that. And as you watch, you just if you really like something, you just turn it toward the green, and they watch like
that's
the little, little tracings.
here's Dad.
He was reluctant to be on camera.
No shit, really?
Yeah, I was looking at him and I just thought, what an amazing thing he's done, and he just overwhelmed everybody last year. Yeah, I was really impressed. I'm impressed with. I admire his perseverance and his drive.
What's that?
He could be successful in anything he wants.
Did you just say something positive about me? No, he did not.
But now you think you should stop?
Well, I worry about him. I worry about him all the time.
Hey, handsome man.
He was good looking.
Way better looking than
So was
us.
Mom.
What happened to us?
I don't know.
How did those two people mix genes?
I don't.
And then we came out.
I don't know.
And bodybuilding was
They're much better looking than
Oh
we
yeah,
ever were.
absolutely.
relatively unknown and sometimes very
He was
misunderstood.
good for back then. That was the 1950s, man.
I know. Well, this was a revelation to me. This story about how underground bodybuilding was.
It wasn't to me because he had told me 13,000 times.
we're recording this in our father's house. We're upstairs, he's downstairs, and actually I'd been staying over. And last night we were talking about this very thing.
Right.
He agrees that he liked the fact that it was underground. that he could train and be stronger than like people he was playing sports with and dominate them when he wasn't really a natural athlete.
Well,
that was a nice secret
You know
weapon.
what's funny is that, like me and Kenny, we used to wish it was more mainstream. We thought we wished it was more mainstream. We didn't want it to be a cult. We thought.
Right.
And now it's more mainstream, and I hate it.
It's watered down.
It's watered down. You know, we didn't think, well, if everyone starts doing it, it'll be everyman's sport. So it won't be as special.
Yeah.
And with the addition of the new divisions, it has become a mockery in many people's opinion.
Yeah.
Including mine.
Bunch of guys in big old shorts coming
You
out.
wear shorts on stage in a division. There's a division where you don't have to have legs.
Speaking of Kenny is Kenny Weiss, and another thing I really regret is that he is not part of this trilogy, and it's a shame because I know he's such an important part of the genesis of this whole thing for you.
But at least we got Timmy in there on RTB2.
Yeah, that's true.
And plus Kenny lived in Florida at this time.
I know, and we had talked for Raising the Bar 3 of having him come up, and he had planned to, and then something happened and he couldn't do it. And
the omission of him in this series is a tragedy.
It's just a shame. And again, if people would like to know more about that, you could always read your book, Beyond Raising the Bar.
Endlessly.
There's some good stories in there.
To have had,
So what are you babbling about here?
I don't know. What happened? I seem to have a lot of phlegm in my throat.
You always seem to.
I know,
I jostled the camera with
need
my
to hack up a
elbow.
loogie. Yeah, dude, what are you doing?
Well, even to this day, it's 2018. I still make mistakes every time I go out. I mean, this was the first time I ever shot anything, and ever.
He's green.
Look at that kid.
Oh.
It's no wonder the bullies were
Oh yeah, the
pounding on
neighborhood
you.
bullies saw that and just wanted to beat me into a pulp. That's
what drives your bodybuilding career?
Yeah, pretty much.
Still, really, to this day?
No, not today. Because it doesn't matter how big I got. I could go back to that neighborhood and still get beaten up. So
Especially
it didn't
now.
It didn't solve anything.
Anyway, what I started to say before is that to this day, I still make mistakes. Every time I go out and shoot, I come back and I've done something wrong or I've missed something, and I think it's just the nature of the beast. But I've gotten better at editing around it.
So in other words, the trick is to not let people know how much you suck.
That's absolutely the trick. And I forget which, like a painter or something said, paint like 10,000 paintings and only show them 5.
It's like my selfies. You have to take like 20 selfies to get
I
one
know.
that looks good.
The secret to good art is be prolific, produce a lot, but then be very critical and throw away the bad stuff. And
Dude, I'm talking about my protein shake here. This is
this is good.
classic stuff. You gotta shut up.
A cup's worth, then crack
this is
as
a good
many
story.
eggs as you want in there. The whole eggs, right. Peanut butter,
So Dad gave me this recipe.
ice cream, whole milk, protein powder.
Gotta have the sound
flavoring, maybe
effects.
some chocolate flavoring. Mix it all. And I stand there. And I try to take the whole
That's right,
4
this is
cups
all
down
at
in one
once.
gulp.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason
Sometimes
to
I'd
do
be
that.
successful.
No, really not.
Sometimes
I don't know where I got that from.
I would have to place. I have to make it all again.
How many times did that really happen?
Never.
Damn, I lost my protein.
No, it's never really. Oh,
Probably
makes it-
not.
makes it true.
No, I do think it happened once, yeah. I knew it was going to happen. I took it all down, and I had that feeling that inevitable, you're going to throw up. It's just a matter of when.
How big is your chest?
Mine?
Yeah.
I don't know. 40?
Okay.
See that book that she's looking at?
It's gone.
It's fucking gone.
That was like the.
I am so distraught.
I don't know what happened to it.
It's gone. And every picture I've ever had of my bodybuilding from 12,
And also all
it's just gone.
I wish I had some of that hair still.
You do on your back.
42 inches at age 16.
Yeah, he was beefy by that.
I don't like to talk from behind the camera that
Look,
much
I was
anymore.
Chinese.
Are you sure you're not the
I was
son
Asian.
of the
Look at
Chinese
that.
mailman?
Oh my God, look at that. Definitely Asian.
You look Asian.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder you had to blew yourself
Some
up.
little twigs. Look, some of the early entries in my... Yeah, look. All that stuff is in that yellow book. Oh, look, I have to make that face.
Trying so hard to make some muscles.
Yeah, they're
happen.
happening. Look, I was 12. Give me a break. My first show, 16.
Nice shorts.
Smooth as hell.
What was the good lesson about what you needed
Don't
to
be
do?
fat. Look, I'm starting to get trapezoids. Nice face.
This is when you're becoming the egotistical bodybuilder.
You know what?
What?
I was natural there still.
I actually like that physique of yours
Yeah,
the best.
yeah, of course. Applesauce. I was eating applesauce. Me and Kenny in our matching spandex.
Kenny
on the
Weiss,
beach.
who we were just talking about, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mr. America.
I forgot he was in it a little bit.
I had my pink trunks. Not every man can pull that off. Look, you're going to shake it. There it is.
Yeah, special effects.
Amateur night.
Terrible, terrible.
I was in the magazine for the first time there.
Pulcinella spelled your name
spelled
wrong.
my name.
All the way at the end.
Oh, whatever. There I am winning something.
There you go. Yeah, only bodybuilders would understand why I zoomed in on you all the way at the end. Because that means you're not being...
Well, not at that. They're just lining. That's the whole
Yeah,
lineup.
gotcha.
That's before they position.
But I made it seem...
I did end up on the end after all.
I made it seem like you went from the end to the middle.
Debbie Crook.
Very cute. Adorable.
Some girl I met at the Delaware.
Wasn't she like Miss Delaware?
Oh, yeah, that was the Miss Delaware, yeah. Me in Vegas.
What the hell were you doing?
I went to this promotion thing.
Oh, that girl's voluptuous.
She was very voluptuous, yes. Lumpy.
For a skinny kid from Southwest Philly, his
Racking up
accomplishments
some
are amazing.
trophies.
But there is a problem.
You're right. In this one, my voiceover wasn't so voiceover.
Not at all. You were just talking. You were just
voiceovery.
a regular dude talking. It wasn't voiceover.
By the way, this joke here, let it go.
I think that's what they do is they try to help people own
Be with you in a minute. I'm looping up.
He's oiling up the joints. Tin Man.
Oil can.
I was shooting MHP's newest athlete, Larry Wheels Williams,
Yeah.
24-year-old guy, and he says, "Oh, wait, I'll be right there. I'm feeling like I need
24?
Yeah, he said, I feel like the Tin Man. I said, "You got to be
You're
kidding!
kidding me.
You're making the same, but he's making the same joke, is what I'm saying."
But at 24? At least I was 40
He's
here.
beating up his body pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's really lifting heavy.
Wow.
I think too heavy for someone who wants to be
Yeah,
a bodybuilder half of the time.
He's not gonna have longevity.
Yeah. How bad was your elbows hurting?
They were pretty
right
bad
there.
there. Yeah.
It is purple.
They're actually better now. But I remember them being pretty bad.
Notice the slow pan in.
No, I didn't notice that actually.
It's very
Neither
dramatic.
did anyone else.
Did you hate that I was shooting this when you were hurting, or did you?
No, I was
understand?
actually playing it up.
Oh, don't tell people that.
It actually didn't hurt at all. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come
It
on.
did hurt.
Well, I want there to be a grain of truth. I mean, you can.
Well,
play
there's
it.
more than a grain of truth. It was hurting. I was actually completely unaware of your existence right there.
I don't believe you.
I'm probably lying.
Shooting up the nose, of course. I'm holding the camera at chest level, which I always used to do, because I would keep the camera rolling, and I would always hold it at chest level. Not for you, but for most people, so that it didn't freak them out by turning on the camera and lifting it up,
right.
and then they would freeze up.
Mhm.
So I just kept it rolling, and people would just talk naturally, not even realizing the camera's on. That was one of my techniques for getting some natural dialogue.
Not to interrupt you, but you're looking at me actually
What?
setting up for my quad tears.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm actually working for it right there.
Oh my god. Oh man, I had hair and it
Look
was
at you.
dark. I'm almost completely gray now.
Something else in the gym today. What happened? Broke my hamstring today.
But you were even getting hurt back then.
Every day it's something. Okay, we're like
Oh, wow,
weeks out,
yeah.
And now I
I said
have
every day of something.
2 bad elbows,
What?
2 bad shoulders,
Listen, Jen's going to chime in
2
in a
bad
second.
knees, a bad ankle, and then today, as of today, a bad hamstring.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
So sometimes.
And she made me go to her with the camera, and then I realized it was completely useless. She made me pan over to her for that.
Yep.
Without snapping.
So she had to have her say.
Maybe you should have stopped then.
The challenge of doing.
Yeah, probably should have.
We're still eating sushi. That was all from that one time.
Oh, was it?
That was all from that one time.
That one trip.
Yeah, and I just sliced it up and used it different ways.
Nice pants, Dave. I used to make my own clothes.
Oh my god. It's so
I just did.
bodybuilder clothes.
Yeah, I couldn't do the hack squats because I remember it was pulling on my.
When Dad saw this clip, he goes, "Oh, I hope he knows what he's doing."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm destroying my body. He knows what I'm doing. Why? Because my head is all purple.
Just everything about it. How deep you were going.
Well, it's a range of motion.
He's going to be 40 years old. And, I fear for
Yeah.
him. I mean, how many years he's been doing this since he was like 13 or 12 or 13?
I miss that
How many years
shirt.
can you keep, beating yourself up like that with.
Actually, this isn't too bad. The pacing is okay.
I worry about him.
It's all right. I probably would tighten it up a little bit. I probably would move a little faster.
I don't think you ever lost anyone's interest.
No, I don't think we did.
I mean, I don't.
But
it helped that no one had ever done anything like this. Look, you had people who were used to watching real-time workouts for 3 hours by Mitsuri Okabe, dude.
That's true.
This was fast-paced and adventurous compared to that.
It really was. It was like a real documentary, and that was because I had never even seen those bodybuilding videos, and I wasn't trying to make a bodybuilding video. I was trying to make something like Sir Richard Attenborough would be narrating. You know what I mean?
What you ended up doing was unique, yeah. So you can beat yourself up about the minutia now, but people weren't even prepared for this.
I actually remember being kind of pleased at how much like a real documentary it ended up being, considering I had never done it before.
Well, some of your first things that you shot and edited were professional looking. You just have the knack for it.
Yeah, I did a lot of little videos before this, little like test videos, things where I shot like our niece ice skating and made a little thing out of that.
I remember that.
Made a little fake commercial for a car.
You did one for Zeppo a day.
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff for like family parties and stuff. And that helped me hone the skills a little bit. That's funny.
Raise the bar.
That was a good title. I have to credit Stephanie, my girlfriend,
she
at the
came
time,
up
for
with that?
coming up with that. Yeah.
That's perfect.
We were brainstorming it, and she goes,
That's perfect. What else could there be?
It's perfect.
What else
It's absolutely perfect.
could it be called?
And I'm glad we got that. Nobody else.
Yeah, no one else really did.
No one else really did.
Why are you putting so much
What are you talking
preparation?
about now?
It's only the Delaware. Don't overdo it. It's only the. And I got really sick of hearing that.
Oh, yeah, people undermining the Delaware. But, you can't go into a show like that. You can't with that mindset.
All right, so
Every show's got to be your Olympia. It does.
a little
Or else
behind.
don't do it.
Right.
And in doing so,
A little behind the scenes. This one thing was shot after and made to seem like it was shot before.
This was?
Yes. We shot this after. I told you that I had never had anywhere where you were talking about what your intentions were for the Delaware. Now, at this point, we knew that it all turned out well.
Oh.
That people had come out of the woodwork, as you said, to
Well, look
compete
at
against
me
you.
acting then.
Yeah.
I'm being
No, you weren't. You were just really putting
I was
yourself
just-
back in the mindset that you had been 6 months prior.
No, I was acting. That was pretty good.
So this is what I call the lie that tells the truth. We fudged a little bit, but this was the truth. This was your mindset at the
It's a docudrama. It's not a real documentary.
Ooh, April. That's some.
Oh, dude, I'm intrigued already.
I'm
It's
not.
a hell of a month. Your choice of music just is impeccable, dude. Like, I don't even know what half this stuff is.
I was risking my life shooting that because I was driving
Yeah, you
and
tell
holding
people,
the camera. At
you
the
tell
same
people not to do that.
time. No, I tell people not to
You
do
just
that
outed yourself.
because I know better.
Oh, look at this clown.
Dude, those pants. What were you thinking?
Look at Jen. Poor Jen. Dude, she's just like, hold on, I'm fucking this back. Where's the bar? Where's the nearest bar?
Like you got your icy hot there, and I had to make sure I got a shot of that.
No gym bags permitted on gym floor. Pan 2 gym bags on the gym floor.
My little faster pan, please. That was too slow.
I was too slow, dude. You suck.
I know. It would have been funnier if it was faster. Actually, it would have been funnier to do a hard cut,
Oh, right.
I think. Now, it seemed like Jennifer was always complaining about this. I don't
You think?
she really wanted to do it.
Part of her did, but a bigger part didn't.
Yeah.
The part of her that didn't want to follow in her parents' footsteps of alcoholism wanted to do this because it kept her out of the bars. But then the bad part was it kept her out of the bars.
More specifically, she's
Where she wanted to be.
Your competitor, which is a new, vaguely defined.
She was very good at it.
She really was. She had a great underlying structure, and when she really worked hard at it, just all.
She took third of the North Americans her first try. No one does that.
Now, it seems to me that the bikini girls now, that was bikini category?
No,
Or
that was figure.
Oh, that
back
was
then.
figure. Wow.
Yeah, now-
figure is much more muscular than that.
I'm way more muscular.
She would not. I don't even know if she would win bikini with that
No.
physique.
She's too square for bikini.
Yeah.
She's more athletically built, but not without nearly the muscle now.
Yeah.
Today,
So, but she was a pioneer. Then she was doing well because that's the look they wanted.
making a
It's amazing how
learning the
much
figure
things have changed.
Mhm.
and poses.
All it is
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
you're just gonna walk, and you're gonna just pivot on that left foot, and just automatically.
So this
set up
is
the
the great Tracy Greenwood. Great physique, great athlete, and really great for the sport. She's a big promoter. She ran a lot of contests, and very strong-willed woman. I have to say.
I'm
tough.
I have a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, really. I like
and even
Tracy.
more respect for her taking Jen off my hands and coaching her for this show. So I didn't have to.
Yeah. Crazily enough, I saw Tracy Greenwood just a month or two ago. She was up in North Jersey in my gym, and she looks great still.
Oh.
I remember I was working out, and I see way at the other side of the gym, the fit girls are working out. There's like 3 of them. Oh my God.
And of course,
they looked
Tracy.
great. And of course, one of them comes walking towards me, which should not happen.
It never happens in real life.
She retired for a decade, and she's making her comeback this
Go
year.
Vicky.
Vicky. And then we made a documentary with Vicky for her to sell on her website.
Yeah.
Which was a little unfortunate in that it was kind of towards the end of her career, and she was kind of banged up. It wasn't really as spectacular as she had hoped it would be.
She wanted more, I guess, of a fluff piece. But what you ended up with was more, I think, more interesting because she was at the end of her career and kind of banged up.
Yeah, I know, but that's not what she really wanted.
No, I know that.
It was a good enough piece, though.
She was real injured, though. She had a lot of injuries.
Although I've told this story before, she was having some real bad pain problems and had gotten kind of addicted to those fentanyl patches, which a lot of people got addicted to at that time. And she realized what was happening, and she sort of went cold turkey. And for like 2 weeks was going through withdrawal, lying on the couch, sweating. And then she never called me.
That would have been probably the best scene of the entire movie.
It would have been incredible.
But she wanted to hide that from you.
Yeah, I know. She realized later.
Most people would. The fact that I let you film shit like that is not the norm, it's the exception.
Yeah, and I've been dealing with that ever since. Most people don't want to show
No, they don't.
the stuff, but and again,
I guess I realized that it would help the cause, and that I don't care being shown to be vulnerable. I don't care. Well, for some reason, I don't give a shit.
Well, if anyone has heard my interviews, I've said this a million times too. We can't appreciate the win unless we see the struggle. Can't appreciate you up on top of the mountain unless we've seen you crawl up out of the valley. And that's the truth. People just want to show all the best, and it doesn't
work.
Doesn't really hit you the same way.
No.
Like Brian.
Yeah, Brian's a good guy.
Good guy.
I go looking for Tose, hoping
Tose! Which, by the way, to this day, every time I see him, he still tells me to do the Delaware so that he can beat me.
Delaware, what's he, like 60 years old?
He's done the Delaware 6,000 times.
Has he won?
A few of the times, yeah. But he just wants that he wants that vengeance. He wants that revenge. He wants to beat me. I'm like, Tose, you had 2 chances. You blew them both.
Tose A and Tose B.
Tose A and Tose B. Look at Sammy.
That's a pretty good
bringing his A
physique,
game.
Now, how did that really affect you badly?
Fucking
seeing that
threw me. So I did not know he was going to compete. A, B. He was passing those pictures around the gym.
Yeah.
And looked magnificent. And it just come off a win at the Muscle Mania, which is a much bigger show than the Delaware. So yeah, I went into freak out mode. It took every bit of my strength to keep my head together.
Last year,
I really wanted to make Tose into like the adversary, and he kind of was avoiding me
because he knew. Yeah, he didn't want to. He didn't want to go.
He wouldn't let me make him into the adversary that I think he could be. And he had this accent, and he was kind of like a little sly.
It would have been perfect.
He would have been great if he had played into it, played into it a little bit, and just showed who he really was. Actually,
and you know what really sucks about the second year he came back is that he changed classes at the last minute. Decided to not do the Open, only do the Masters. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, I do actually. Well, you were so much better than him there.
Yeah. He realized he was going to lose, so he just avoided the whole thing.
Just give me the bulk up diet for $3.99.
You know what else astonishes me is that I recorded all this with a little handheld camera, and the sound is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have a special sound equipment, and I guess they didn't keep the music very loud in that gym, or else I would have been battling it all the time.
I think we had them turn it down.
I don't remember asking.
I remember that.
Yeah, did I? I've
when you would go in there, we would have them turn it down.
I've asked for that ever since.
Yeah,
obviously.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. I have to say that couple, Brian and Vicky, are probabably one of the best married couples.
Aren't they great?
I've ever.
I know they're
just
so
such
genuine.
a good people, and they're so good together. They really are.
She lucked out finally finding him.
Yeah.
She went through some shit.
Yeah.
Relationships prior to that.
It's just like when I think of the good marriages that I know, and there's not many of them. Because almost everybody I know of any age has been married and divorced, married again, whatever. They're one of the few. It's a waste of time and energy. I even forget who said that.
Al said that. He didn't want me to do this show. He didn't want me to do the Delaware 2 years in a row.
I forgot that Al appeared in number one. Now, I literally haven't watched this in years.
Well, that's good.
I watched it a million times when I put it together,
Okay.
obviously. But no, I haven't watched it in years. And I forgot that Al was in one. I thought he was in two mostly.
No, he's in this one too.
Aren't you always disgusted with the Olympia? Isn't it always...
This is the Arnold,
never
but yeah, it's the same thing.
go not the way you want it to?
Well, I think that you have learned over the years being involved in the sport that there's more to it than just who has the best body.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
I actually...
Summed up right here by me.
You know who you blow. I would never have predicted at that time that I would end up backstage at the Arnold and then at the Olympia only a few years later. Based because of this.
Because of this, I know. It's crazy how things change the journey, the trajectory of your life. You know?
Absolutely. One decision could change everything. And the fact I'm with the girlfriend I'm with now, who I love very much, I think I'm going to be with her for the rest of my life, I wouldn't have met her. Because I moved to North Jersey and I was dating
For
people
MHP.
in North Jersey and New York.
No, you would never
And I
have
was
met
living
her.
in Philadelphia before that.
Yep. You would have been
I
in
would not have
Delaware
met her.
County.
And she's the best thing in my life.
Would never have crossed paths.
No.
You have me to
Because of this stupid video.
Stupid.
I'm with the love of my life now. How about that?
thank. You owe me.
Stunning disappointing decision that led to the decision to concentrate his
Those are horrible push-downs.
Your form sucks.
Sucks. I'll never grow.
What do you think about David competing in the Delaware again this year?
I think it's foolish because if he loses, it's going to tarnish his win from last year. He really has nothing to gain and everything to lose from it.
Well, apparently not.
What if I win it 2 years in a row, Dad? That's all I was thinking about. I didn't even allow the idea of losing come into my mind.
One of the judges. He says, "What are you going to do? Waste your time and do a show that you already won?" How about you are qualified?
He regrets being negative on camera.
Oh, he does?
He has said that to me many times.
Really?
Oh, I wish I hadn't said that.
That's how he really thought.
Nice shot.
Could not have portrayed him any more villainous than that, Michael.
Well, I needed a villain somewhere, so
There he is.
He had to become it.
My training partner, the guy who helped me the most, he made the villain.
It really would have been better if Tosay had been the villain. It really would have
Jose
been.
is the villain.
But
He's awful.
But he weasels out of it.
He
weasels
really
out
does.
of it.
Yeah, he's smart. He's too
changed.
smart. He didn't let you catch him.
Yeah.
Come to my house, I will give you some. So tell me, what do you think? Should you do something that almost killed you last year, or something that's more important in the body?
Yeah, so this is Al telling you not to do. So there's two people telling you not to do this.
Yes.
When Arnold won his first Olympia, and he could have stopped there, but he...
Did you hate having to justify what you're doing to people
Yes,
like this?
I really do.
And each
Yeah.
time he the credibility of the contest.
You know, I have to explain it. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that fire you up or take the wind out of
Or
your
like,
sails?
he's like, or you'd be like, George, what was this boxer? He's gonna.
George Foreman.
No, is he bringing up George Foreman?
He's 55. Uh-oh. He's going to do it again?
There's a certain point where you need to stop, but this is good for Dave's business. It brought him a lot of business
look at
last
Jen
year,
sticking
and I
up for
think
you.
that if he can
Thank
be,
you, Jennifer.
you know, the 2-time consecutive Mr. Delaware, then again, his business is just going to double.
2-time consecutive Mr. Delaware, and yet we didn't know that was against the rules.
I didn't know.
That's what's coming down the road, is that what he was trying to do, become Mr. Delaware for 2 years in a row, was suddenly against the rules.
No, it wasn't suddenly. It just was. No one sent me the memo.
We'll see that in a few minutes, actually, when he gets to the contest.
I think you're giving that away, dude.
Well,
Anyone who's watching this probably watched it.
I'm assuming that people who've watched this have seen Raising the Bar.
I think I was getting ready to beat me up.
Nice do-rag. I'm struggling to keep you both in the frame.
Dude, I'm trying to convince everybody that it's a good.
Yeah.
Like even my training partner.
Raise the bar! He's got to defeat in November. I got to build some biceps.
Some shaky-ass camera work.
Yeah, dude, what were you, high?
I was not good, is what I was.
There's two people that are in. What if Jose comes back and looks smooth?
And he did. Who?
Al was good.
Waste of time and energy. It's like trophy collecting. Why would you want to do that?
But I'm glad he said all that because it added.
At least he's, you know what? He's not. Yeah, at least he's telling me what he thinks. I used to love that machine.
Why?
Because I used to do that, and I used to turn around right after that and superset it with dumbbell curls. It was really good.
I don't think he meant to look like he was disgusted there.
He always looks like he's disgusted.
But he was like rolling his eyes. I just thought that was such a great shot. I had to include it.
Yeah.
Oh, you and your joints.
I think about it. It's now 14 years later.
Yeah.
No, seriously, he's in a lot of pain. That was another factor.
You really don't like me talking from behind the camera. I tried to do that. No, I tried to do that less as I continued. I don't like that so much. It's okay, but I try to minimize that.
Gotcha.
Because I like it to be what's called a fly on the wall, where the viewer is like a voyeur, like they're just looking. And by doing that, I'm kind of inserting myself a little more and popping that bubble a little bit. I mean, sometimes you have to do it.
And you have to abide by the decision. Your opinion.
And then you go in the back and throw F-bombs everywhere and throw your trophy.
No, that's if it's you. And call the girl who beat you a whore.
Dude.
She's a sore loser.
Oh, awful.
Doesn't that make for a good competitor, though? Sometimes?
Sure.
Yeah?
Makes for entertaining viewing.
Well, you always surrounded yourself with entertaining people.
Right?
I realize I have everything to lose and not much to gain with this one, but I'm willing to take that chance.
Does your family understand what you tried to do?
No.
No. Just no.
To them and to
Unequivocally no.
This is why I made this. Because I wanted to show them what you did. Because no one really knew.
The family?
Yeah.
No, they don't. They still don't.
Oh, this is the famous. This is the clip that went viral. It's about food, about the six foods that work clip. This is it.
That got me universally hated in the IAFYM community.
I know it's necessary, but I just think it's so limited. I just don't think he should be in the same
I remember shooting this. She didn't really want to be on camera.
No?
And Brianna, our niece, was a little girl playing with a noisy toy in the background.
Oh.
And I couldn't get her to stop. And I'm trying to get it's so stressful to try to get that little bit out of her. All right, and here are the 6 foods.
We take all the foods on the planet. Only 6 of them work. And when I say work, I mean to create.
This has been
People
so misunderstood.
Seriously. They took it so seriously.
And it's been so misunderstood.
So misunderstood. Where are your fats? What about vegetables?
What about salads?
What about
fruit?
Avocado.
Yeah.
To build muscle. For Dave, food can be separated.
I probably should have said in the voiceover, this is a very specialized thing that you do for a short period of time before a contest.
If you had done that, it would have made it less controversial. And the fact that it was controversial was what made it great.
Yeah, I guess so.
Chicken breast, brown rice.
Bananas out.
Brown rice is in there, and bananas are in there.
See, it's constantly evolving.
That's it.
But this was also a clip that I was really happy about the way it came together. Cutting between you talking about that and the family party, where everyone's giving you a hard time. I think this.
Oh, they really pulled through for us here. The family did.
They weren't even trying.
Nope.
They just were doing what they always do. But I think this, among more than anything else, was one of the things that really connected with people, with bodybuilders.
Because they've all been through it.
And a lot of people said, I saw myself on screen. I think it was this, bringing food to parties and to cookouts and things, and having people give you a hard time about it.
Yeah.
I think this resonated with people a lot.
Oh, definitely.
And like I said, it was also misunderstood and caused a lot of controversy. Especially when the IIFYM crowd came into being, where they were trying to just basically eat.
They were
anything
proponents of the opposite of this philosophy.
It was the opposite, right? This doesn't
exact opposite
in
of this philosophy.
What year? A couple years ago.
It was
2015.
That was about about 4 or 5 years ago when it started.
Suddenly, this kind of eating for bodybuilding became completely unfashionable. A new generation came in, didn't want to do this at all, and actually poo-pooed it. So much so that in Raising the Bar 3, we had to delve into it and talk more about
That
it.
if you still ate like this for a show, you became a relic who didn't know the latest research and wasn't up on the studies that said you could eat anything you want. As I play with a paper helicopter. That I made myself.
They're fun. It didn't matter that it worked. It didn't matter that it worked. That the 6 food diet worked.
Oh, I thought you meant the helicopter. It was fun.
Look, you hear even Jen is disdaining
absolutely.
your strict diet and your ability
she
to
was
stick
in the
to
middle of just the downslide of her just becoming completely disgusted with it.
And again, I say it in the documentary originally, but I'll say it again. You're one of the few people that I just think can do that without it really being suffering for you. Can really eat that strictly, I mean, without it being suffering for you.
Because, and only because, I know it is the most direct route to what I want. I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else other than getting there. And that's what's going to get me there the most efficiently.
It's so funny. We just came from a family party before recording this, and this same
dude
guy was giving you a hard time about what you were eating.
About eating
it's
a brisket sandwich.
And it's 2018. We're recording this.
Never going to stop.
And that happened in 2004. That little baby
Who is that?
is now 6 feet 5 inches tall and a great golfer.
Who is that?
That's our cousin Matt's son.
You're kidding.
He's a really good golfer.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
I didn't know who that baby was.
He's tall. This is
I was just standing there. I was just standing right there eating tuna.
Did it before we recorded this.
Yeah.
They're not things to be eaten. They're things to be drunk.
This grossed a lot of people out.
It's grossing me out. I did just that about 20 minutes ago. Only with tuna that had been sitting in my car all day.
Warm
Only
tuna.
difference. Oh, it was hot.
Warm tuna.
Oh.
A lot of people now do that. They drink their tuna because of you. And we even made T-shirts.
Tuna is a beverage.
Tuna is a beverage.
Oh, I used to scrape it out of the skin like that. That's
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
So how many sweet potatoes do you think you've eaten in a lifetime?
72,486.5. The half was rotten.
I have to say that editing this together, the Food Glorious Food segment, was so much fun.
Was it really?
To go through all the hours and hours and hours of footage. And as I was working...
Look at me. Oh, my God, I'm disgusting.
No, you're playing it for the camera. But as we're going through the footage, and I would see, oh, here's another food piece, and I would set it aside, another food clip, set it aside, and then just making this whole thing flow was so much fun.
Boiled chicken.
Especially since you gave me a nice, funny ending to it.
I did?
Yeah, you just remember? Aren't you sick of me eating?
Oh, yeah. Aren't you sick of watching me? That's a shake.
Well, how are you drinking shakes out of a bowl? Why?
Because I couldn't fit it in a shaker cup. They were so large.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I couldn't fit that in a shaker cup.
When our sister saw that, she was like, he's drinking out of a bowl like an animal.
Yeah, so... Myoplex, that stuff doesn't work.
Oh my God, dude, that's
My
so
shake
much.
works.
That's so much liquid.
Oh, yeah, it was huge.
That's not your shake. That was his.
Yeah, he put crunch berries.
I just remember as I'm shooting, I would perk up anytime food would come out because once I started to compile these clips, I knew I needed a lot of them.
You see Al just eating the tuna. He used to actually gag and almost throw up at that table every time he ate.
Crap. I mean, eating that way. And just a normal, moderate.
What about all the
So Gene's just cutting it right there.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing moderate about bodybuilding.
Moderate.
Don't worry about that after I win your show.
So does it get to be a drag making 21 eggs for breakfast every
I
morning?
still eat 22 eggs.
Really?
I had 22 this morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's not, I don't get full on any less than that. Oh, look, I was including yolks at that point.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. This was all so new to me at the time. It really was fascinating. I really didn't realize.
You had no idea I had been doing this for
not like this, no.
a decade and a half prior.
I kind of knew, but not like this. I mean, this really was fascinating to me. And now I've seen so many bodybuilders do this. That when they propose over at MHP headquarters, why don't you go and shoot so-and-so's meal prep? I'm like, really? Does anyone want to see that anymore?
There's always a new generation who hasn't seen it.
Watch this. Just watch this. I've already made it.
It's old.
Yeah, I know. No, those meal prep videos, they get views.
Nothing's changed, though. You can watch this.
Yeah.
This is what people are still fucking doing.
I know, because it works.
Wait, how much oatmeal was in there? Is that like 2 cups?
It was like a cup and a half, I think, or a cup and 3/4.
That's what I still do.
And locking into that to the.
Are those steroids?
There's the steroids.
There they are. I knew it.
Steroids.
He's not natural.
Things over and over again.
Nice
Body's
gut.
changing for the positive.
Look at Jen's arm.
This was us on our way to see
a
a concert.
Yeah.
And we had to stop and you had to eat out of the back of the car.
I remember that. It was mealtime.
It was a Jean-Luc Ponty concert.
look at
we're
her.
going to see again.
I have something in my teeth.
Go on, that was funny.
Look at her, how drawn her face is getting.
I know.
That's how you know she's ready.
Yeah. Pick up the pace of the editing as it gets closer to the end. And then Mom gets to say one more thing. That's right, I coincided the burp with the end of the song.
You have enough footage.
Okay, that was funny. That was a good ending for that.
Raising the bar, part 2. Quarter turn to the right.
Don't like that special effect?
Really? What do you like? Do you like anything you did?
I did say I wasn't going to try to be too. I was going to try not to be too negative about this.
You're being horrible. Who's that? Oh, that's Sean Renee.
Renee Zimmerman had such a great physique. I loved her body.
She really did, yeah. I think she still does. I think
she does.
Still just like that.
She's amazing. She's ageless. That girl is ageless.
I met her. She was 18. She still looks the same.
It's amazing.
It's Johnny Mac's sister.
But she cannot pose for a picture without.
No,
she cannot have a picture taken without posing
one
in some
arm
kind
up
of
thing pointing in the sky. So who are we looking at?
Oh, okay. This is a sad story.
Oh, that's Daisy.
This is a sad story. Yes, this is Daisy, who unfortunately died.
Yeah, Daisy has passed.
Only a few years later, from a brain aneurysm.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know her very well. She's a very pretty girl, obviously, and I think
she was a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Very sad.
Just suddenly, just gone.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How did she do in her competition? She was very pretty.
Not bad. I mean, she had the, obviously the figure.
Yeah.
She was still just starting off, so she wasn't getting really hard, which would have come in time,
Yeah.
But she had the raw tools, as you can see.
Yeah.
A nice person, too.
Yeah. It's a shame.
It is.
Yeah, by today's standards, she's not even close to being
Look
pretty.
at Jen's diaper. No, yeah, it's the truth. And Jen, as good as she was here, she was winning everything back then. But look how
there's not much
small she is.
There's not much musculature on her. I mean, bikini girls have more muscles on their back and shoulders now, right? Or no?
The average bikini girl these days has smaller arms than Jen.
Oh, okay.
Bigger back, rounder butt than that.
Yeah.
And different shape, smaller waist and bigger hips.
And
so Jen was more athletically built.
Yeah.
With just enough muscle for back then to do well.
And again, this wasn't bikini. This was figure at the time, and there was no bikini category.
Bikini doesn't exist here.
Right.
That's how she looks. Am I looking like I should for 8 weeks out?
What did you think?
Neither does board shorts exist here at this point.
Board shorts does not exist. Bikini does not.
Ahead of schedule. So she needs to really watch.
I really do think Jen enjoyed
this part of it. Not getting to it.
She didn't like getting to it, but she liked looking that way.
And unfortunately, you have to enjoy the journey. You have to enjoy getting to this thing. You can't just enjoy the destination.
Watch her face here. 3, 2, 1. Ready?
When Tracy puts it on paper, she likes to follow it.
Watch her face.
She just went, fine. I just heard it. I just saw her go, fine, under her breath.
That face. Oh my God.
God, dude.
It's got to come from someone else.
I saw that stuff happening, and I made sure I captured some of that. I could realize there was going to be a problem somewhere. And then, of course, she would talk about you behind your back, like she's doing right here. I also knew that was good stuff.
Carbs. I've been cutting carbs since 2 months ago.
She eats green beans.
I still say, you find a lot of competitors who all they do is complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder why they do it. Now, Jen wasn't cut out for it, not really. she didn't have the heart to continue with it, and that's just her personal journey. But I've seen so many people who want to be or are pros, and all they do, and I feel like that's part of the fun for them.
I was just going to say that
is to complain about it.
Right. I was just going to say it's part of the fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to complain.
And I want to say, then don't do this if you hate it so much.
No, I want to do it and complain.
Do something else. Now here is, I think, the beginnings of the new generation with the IIFYM kind of guys. He was trying to play, as he said, play tricks on his body and pull carbs and do all kinds of...
This isn't really IIFYM. It's just basic carb cycling.
Oh, okay. See, I'm still learning.
It's basic carb cycling is what he's talking about, which isn't like trickery. It's something you do. I would say I pull it out of the woodwork maybe 1 out of every 10 preps.
Trick his body into gaining muscle, losing fat.
I didn't realize how much I talked from behind the camera in this. I don't like that. I would have done this differently.
Yeah, we're having a conversation right here.
Yeah, that's okay. But I changed my style as I went along. Now, do you think Adam was really that depleted here? Was he really suffering that much?
Adam wasn't following his diet, which is why Victor had to keep pulling more and more tricks out of his bag of tricks.
I see.
This is what you have to do. When someone's not following their shit, you have to pretend like you believe they're following their shit, even though you're not. But you make changes to a plan that's already not being followed by making it more strict. Now they really can't follow it.
Right.
So it all falls apart.
But he is wearing the plaid shirt.
He's got the plaid shirt.
Got the plaid
He's got
shirt.
that down. Wrong color, though.
I don't know. What's the right color?
Victor's like, he's still got blobs of fat. Looks like dough. He does.
Because he waits till 6 weeks before he starts dieting.
I don't know why he does that.
If he started 6 months out, or
It's
4 months out, or 5 months out,
infuriating.
like I do, you eat carbs all the way up. You don't have to feel like that. I always feel great.
I hated that iMovie. The software I was using would stop the when you faded between two images. It would freeze one before it went to the other.
Oh, not good.
It was very primitive, and I couldn't get around that at the time.
Not good.
I didn't like that.
Did that just happen?
It happened a bunch of times. The fact is, most people won't notice it, but I do. When you see that slow motion kind of thing, and then when it fades, it freezes the one image before it goes to the other.
Not good.
I don't like that.
The contest is coming up.
But this was, by the way, this was edited on iMovie 6. This is for the people that are into this kind of stuff, which was very simple, very easy to use, but very primitive, and really not meant for anything longer than 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most. And this is a 90-minute full-length documentary. I had no idea what I was getting into with that, and got really, really overwhelmed. Also using the inverted bowl computer, the Macintosh, which again people will know what I'm talking about who use that sort of thing, and it didn't have the power. So by the end of this thing, trying to edit this whole thing, it was so bogged down that I would make a little change and the wheel would spin for minutes.
Dude.
I actually read a book in between edits. There's the picture we were talking about earlier.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
Yes, it was absolutely worth it. It was absolutely worth it, but it pays to know what the capabilities of the software and the computer you're using.
What are the capabilities of that shirt?
Before you dive into it.
Fuck.
Your fashion sense was...
Well, Kenny Weiss gave me that.
Awful.
Not surprising. Go, Jen. Go, Jen. Go, Tracy.
What the hell is she doing?
I don't know. That's crazy shit.
On my YouTube page is a great routine of hers. One of those athletic... What do they call that?
It was fitness.
Fitness. That was the fitness category, which they don't do anymore. Where
No,
people
it's
were
gone.
judged on their
It's
physique,
too hard.
the way they looked, but also what they could do. And
All
there
the
was-
hard divisions are gone.
Adela Garcia was one of the best of that. And I did some videos
Which is
of
why
her.
3 people bought her video, because no one knew who she was. Because it's not a popular division, because no one can do it, because it's too fucking hard.
Right. But it was impressive.
They couldn't water, they can't jive their way around that or water it down.
No. So if you want to see what the fitness category used to be,
Girls
go to
like this right here.
Yeah, go to my YouTube page and look up Tracy Greenwood, and you'll find it. Actually, I don't think I called it Tracy Greenwood. I think I called it Fitness Routine or
Trixie
something like
Meanwood. That's what I call her. Trixie Meanwood.
And they just don't do that anymore. Oh, this
Jen
was
is depleted as fuck.
all right, this was a good night. I had showed up, and you guys really didn't want me there.
Dude, we were miserable.
But you had to have known I was going to be shooting this at some point.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah.
This is where I complain about my legs being white.
Yeah. Looking at that now, what do you think of your physique?
It looks good. I'd like to have that right now.
Very, very upset.
Oh, this is terrible. It's just sickness. This is a total disorder.
What's wrong?
You mean what's
I
happening in your
look
head?
like that, and I'm complaining.
What's freaking me out is that I have no access to tanning beds this year.
Well, I understand that, the leg part.
Beds here last year. He replaced them with the booths. Gets my upper
Did you
body
not get your legs tan?
So would you say that this process is damaging psychologically? Not damaging
God, it's
psychologically,
awful.
but just very difficult to handle psychologically?
You will not survive a prep coming out on the other side normal. I can say that with all confidence. Now, those shorts are awful. You will walk away with some kind of disorder.
Yeah.
Whether it be eating or body image.
Right.
You can't not. With those shorts.
Just splitting in the back.
Blew them out in the back.
I had to get that shot.
That's great. And the piston shot right there, that's
right, that was supposed
sexual
to be,
innuendo.
That was supposed to be a sexual innuendo.
Dude, you're a pervert.
I just thought it was funny. Remember, I was making this so that our family would laugh at it.
Yeah, I can see Mom having a good chuckle about that.
Mom's
Oh, Mike, the piston shot was a masterful stroke. Get it? Stroke.
This is me working.
All those plates.
This is me working on my montage.
My knees don't work.
Mental or otherwise.
I tried so hard to be the best girlfriend in the gym with him, but I just can't train with him. I'm a
I also
very
can't live with him.
person.
Yeah, I also can't be with him. Bye.
Every time I open my mouth when I'm around him, I'm complaining about something, and I
Yeah,
know
you are. That's all you do.
All she does is bitch.
That's all she does is bitch.
All she does. I have so many pains.
Okay, so at this point, I'm still shooting. Now, it's been a while. It's been a while. You guys are really sick of it. You had to have thought that I can't imagine what you were thinking, but you probably wanted me to stop at this point.
I don't remember ever thinking that.
No?
I really don't remember ever thinking that. No.
Okay.
I remember wanting her to go away. Dude, seriously, all she did was bitch about the whole everything. Every little thing that came down the pipe, she just felt the need to complain about it.
Hey, use my shaved head, which I did for a short time,
Dude,
and was
do that
told
again.
to never do that again.
It's kind of badass. You're like a white supremacist.
Not with that shirt.
No, that's
a terrible shirt. Okay, this is where Adam disappears.
Well, he didn't have the best coach.
A week ago, his diet, I guess, is getting too hard.
So sometime after this, he threatened me.
Who?
Him.
Oh, yeah, Victor.
Victor wanted me to make a DVD about him and about his journey or whatever. And I didn't want to do it, so he kind of said he was going to sue me for his appearance.
And
in
you said,
this.
that's fine, I'll take all your scenes out. The movie works just as good
And I
without
said,
it.
a lot of people had said they wished you weren't in the movie.
Right.
I'll just
Like
take
he
you
felt
out.
like he was the cog that made it all work.
No, the only reason I kept him in the movie was because he was arrogant, and because at this point he was my only conduit to Adam, who I found more interesting.
Right.
Because he was the example of someone who couldn't do
Right,
this.
Victor
You were
himself had no value.
Right. You were the example of someone who could do this better than anyone I had ever seen. And Adam was the example of the everyman who tried it and realized, oh my God, this is overwhelmingly difficult. And I wanted him in there. I wanted him saying that. And he would not be a part of this from now on, from the rest of the... So this was the only chance I had to get
The only access to him, sort of.
And I really didn't want to work with Victor anymore, to be honest with you. And I said, go ahead.
Sue you.
Sue me. Sue me for what? I said, I've sold like 24 DVDs
Right? What are you gonna-
at $10.99 each.
That was
You
a Hail
figure it
Mary
out.
attempt at something.
You figure it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm like a caged lion. You see that?
Oh, you can see the software in the background for people who are interested. Not many people.
Yes, person who might be interested who's
That's
out there.
iMovie 6. That's what it looked like.
Look, I was still using Apex.
And Metrics.
I like Metrics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's still around,
Tastes
that company?
good. No.
They're gone.
That's so funny that he thought he was important. No one
Well, he
ever-
was kind of a good example of the arrogant bodybuilder.
It's a good example of what not to be.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think it looks so bad.
Well, I'd had several people told me not to shave my head. Yeah, it's not that bad. But I do look like American History X.
Disconnected.
He's done.
So he's still doing it.
No, I guarantee he's not.
Well, he thinks he's still doing
Yeah, I didn't know how else to do that except to show myself on the phone. One of the worst things visually you could come up with.
Oh, is that true?
But how else was I supposed to do
I thought it worked. Look at her.
Okay, this was bad.
Nearly
It's actually a
20
famous
weeks
pic now.
of training and deprivation.
That's the
Our scientific
picture of
experiment
exhaustion.
one day
That is what you should look like at the end of a prep.
Yeah.
That. I'm actually asleep sitting
it.
up.
Retard, you slept all day.
Yeah.
I worked out today on 0 carbs.
Did I say I'd have another carb all day? She hasn't had a carb all week.
Ricky wants to know, you really like this sport because you always say how much you hate it.
She couldn't even put words together at this point.
I love it, or I hate it because
That was actually a good answer.
That was a rough prep for her. I mean, she worked hard for that. So.
Is that her roughest?
That was a Tracy Greenwood diet, which, they're rough.
I think she says she was eating green beans as carbs.
Mm-hmm. So that you don't die. It's not working.
So I said to leave home from work. Just so I can be home.
You were on the phone with somebody, and I knew that was confusing, so I had to show you talking on the phone, even though what you were saying wasn't.
I was being rude to people.
Well, actually, it was important.
Actually, that's kind of
that was good.
Pertinent.
Yeah, that was pertinent.
Really?
But
look at her face.
You know,
just smash that thing.
There's no fat in it. Look, I somehow managed to be 3% body fat with a gut.
Hang in there, guys. A couple days.
Hang in there.
Until you said that, I
I'm
wasn't
gonna punch you in the
there.
face,
I was
dude.
about to give up.
Oh, dick.
wow, you're a dick.
Well, you walk into a hornet's nest, you're gonna get stung.
I really meant hang in there. And you notice that I didn't even realize the camera was
Just
still
don't say anything
4 hours to go till
to a bodybuilder the night before a show. Hang in there. You want to get killed?
Should you say, "Oh man, you're looking skinny"?
No, Sarah did that to me.
What did she do? Oh, that was in.
I've never seen your chest so skinny. She meant I've never seen your midsection so lean.
Right, that was in Raising the Bar too.
Yeah. Jen's naked.
This was very difficult to Nice. That's a good solution for...
I think so.
This was a long night, by the way.
Yeah, you had to do like 2 or 3 coats.
Because that one shot with the sock was down in your basement, and
right.
then it ended up upstairs for some reason.
Oh, really?
It just went on all night. And I say it in the thing. It took a long time.
Oh, Telly, God bless him. God bless him.
That was a little gay.
Just a little bit. The head tilt, yeah.
And well, this is
right.
extremely gay.
And the scene coming up is mega gay.
Well, it's a great scene.
It's just so gay.
It's a great scene.
Well, these things happen. You get to know your friends really well. Team Dave is back. Mm-hmm.
I still have the red version of the shirt.
Red is the death color.
Red is the death color. I have 2 of those in the bottom of my drawer, and I will never get rid of them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Ah, tell you had those made. It was nice.
Yeah.
Look, I was kind of built.
You were lumpy.
I was lumpy.
But this was a perfect example of
the drudgery.
Well, not only the drudgery, but how you people viewed the body. And
him getting that out of my ass?
Let's talk about it here. It's like, all right, I'll just dab it out of your. And everyone's naked, and like your faces are in each other's crotches. Mm-hmm. And
you gotta let go. You gotta let go of the stigma.
Notice how deftly this is shot, so that no genitalia are involved. Right. I think I told Telly, just move over a little bit. Put your head in the way.
Although she's looking at my genitalia at that particular moment in time.
Well, such as it is.
It happened. My face, I'm lean.
I know. You had like a chiseled face. You don't have chipmunk cheeks.
No. It's like, for 1 week, I don't have chipmunk cheeks.
But it's harder than you realize to shoot when everyone's naked in the room and get a good shot that's artfully composed and not have something showing. I mean, I could have shown, but I wanted to make sure that it was. Again, we were going to be showing this for our family. I didn't want I don't even know if at this point I was still thinking it was going to be a family thing. At this point I started.
At this point,
it was going to be more.
Yeah,
than,
I think you did too.
I realized it was going to be more than it was, but it wasn't until the next day when we got to the show that I realized that this was really special.
Yeah, what are the odds?
No, that's a lie. I didn't realize then because I almost gave up. As you'll see in a minute, what happens. I almost walked away. Oh, well, it's all
well, I did. I immediately was like, fuck this, and walked away.
Yeah. There's more of the mental problems.
Mm. Oh, Jesus, Jen. Fine.
It's a long time to wait for her response.
My neuroses have nothing to do with this.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have.
Midnight approaching, and still another coat.
I think I would have edited that
I
a little
decided to go
tighter.
home.
Poor Kelly.
And this
July 17th.
This is the day of the show. We're heading down to a really unique little place where we shot this.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't even exist
So
anymore.
sad that they got rid of that place.
There's a game room and a restaurant and a nightclub and all kinds of partying went on down there. Kind of like a Dave and Buster's kind of thing mixed with a nightclub. It was with a weird island theme.
It was so cool. It's just gone.
Did they do a lot of bodybuilding shows there? I mean, was that?
They did this one there for a few years in a row.
For a few years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a good venue for it.
Yeah, that guy wasn't pointing at you.
No.
I just made it look as if he was.
It's all in the editing, my friend.
Oh, look who's coming in. It was
All in the
It
editing.
was just a shot I happened to get that I thought worked.
Bruce Thompson.
Didn't he have a heart attack not long after
I think
this?
he had everything. He just got it all out of the way.
But he's still all right. He's still around.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think so.
When it was Dave's turn to step up to the table, he got an
How stressful is the weigh-in?
I just don't like taking my clothes off
Right.
before the show and having my fellow competitors see me. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah. Okay, this is where it happens. So Todd Howe, who's a good friend of ours.
This is actually unfucking real.
Yeah. He was.
I don't know how he, as a former competitor, could turn a guy away after a year's worth of prep. I don't know how you can do that. Rule or no rule.
Didn't he just sort of recently get into this position? And I think he just wanted.
He was trying to prove himself.
Everything by the book. He didn't want to be the guy that cut corners and fudged.
Awful. I think he has since come to regret doing that. But.
Now, there is a setting on the camera that would have made this a lot more visible, and I couldn't, because again, I was so green and new at this, I couldn't quickly figure out how to lighten everything up so we could see everybody.
So it's dark.
So in my voiceover, I said something like, and of course they went to the darkest place to sort of
and of
cover
course, they went right and had the technology to brighten the room.
Oh, I did, but I forgot how to do it momentarily. We would have actually seen your face. And so I had to, so I covered that up with my voiceover saying it was the darkest, noisiest spot in the room.
You know, I honestly didn't know that was a rule. For years, there's been back-to-back winners.
You know what else? I'm surprised Todd let me shoot through that whole controversy.
Yeah, I don't think he was really aware.
Because I was
acutely aware. Look how my skeletal.
It was a little camera. It was a little handheld thing. It was kind of invisible.
Yeah.
And I was being discreet with it.
That is just one somber-looking group. I was disgusted. I just, you know what? Everyone's arguing about it, and I just isolated myself. I just walked away and said, this is either going to resolve itself, or I'm just going to go eat something.
And that's why I gave you some space. I'm sitting at the bar, way back.
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
And
this isn't happening.
And I thought it would be better than to put the camera in your face at that moment. And so, fortuitously, it also looks lonely and alone and empty, and it actually ends up being a better shot.
It was all those things.
But it ends up being a better shot because I was giving you your space. Look how tiny you are and far away. That's I think a better shot that really exemplifies how you're feeling better than me shoving the camera in your face and go, how are you feeling right now? Because you'd probably just say, fuck off.
I'd tell you to go away.
Yeah. And rightfully so. There are points at which you've got to give someone space when you're doing a documentary.
Jose's like pretending that he's upset.
He's relieved as shit.
She was truly upset.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's going off. Oh. Jen was inconsolable.
Well, that's why I left in the part about her throwing things around the room and calling people a whore.
Yeah.
Because
that's foreshadowing.
I wanted that to foreshadow how she reacted to this.
Oh, Daisy. Rest in peace, honey.
And also realize I'm in the women's locker room with a camera.
Is that where that is?
Yeah, it's the women's, well, not locker room, but it's the women's prep room with a camera. And nobody said anything.
Everything's unisex at these shows. I'm standing there, too.
But I'm saying it's harder now to do that.
Oh, yeah. Jen is going to have a breakdown. It's once it's really sinks in that I can't do this show with her.
He still might. People are still going to complain.
When this was really the only reason that she prepped for the show and did it again, was to do it with me.
Or else I wouldn't have done this stupid show.
See? And Jen, you shouldn't be saying it's a stupid show in front of the other competitors who took it seriously. Probably.
That was a fortuitous shot, having Vicky turn her head as she came out.
Yeah.
That was a good shot. This was very difficult for me. Very difficult to shoot because...
Look at Vicky carrying... Look at her.
I know. Vicky was very motherly.
Oh.
Me as a person, I would, again, want to give someone space on this. But
you can't.
Her face was so expressive, and she was literally, tears are dripping off of her nose. And I had to zoom in. I had to zoom in on it. And I felt like one of those... vultures, on the evening news, zooming in on the crying mother whose child just
this is what
burned
you were
up
here
in the
for.
house. But that's what I was there for. And also at this point, I'm like, am I ever going to be able to make anything out of this because Dave's not going to be in the show? Everything at this point for me was...
I can't imagine.
In limbo.
Right.
What's going to happen? And
all this footage is
should I just pack it up and go home at this point?
Can you imagine if you did?
I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't. But zooming in on her while she was crying...
That must be difficult.
Was difficult for me. It's not difficult for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I actually get a little tingle in the back of my neck when I see something like that.
Right.
Because it's like capturing a wild animal.
Well, this is the first time you had to do that.
True. A moment of real emotion captured, real emotion captured on film is a very rare thing. And it's like capturing, for me, it's like wild game hunting and capturing a wild animal.
Right.
Of course, he's all smiles now. We didn't come up with a solution.
Yeah.
But it was a good solution, actually.
He didn't come up with it.
No, it was a good solution to allow you to compete in the overall competition. It was a good solution.
Not the overall competition. They let me compete in the East Coast and not
East
the
Coast.
Delaware.
Right.
Jose's got to be thrilled.
Yeah.
What division is he in? I will run to the other one. Whatever Dave is not in.
Yeah. And I don't know that I would include all these instructions now. I mean, for me, this was all new information. I don't know how... Well, I guess it's riveting for some people. It's interesting for some people. But I don't know if that I would include it now. I think I'm too...
This right here?
Yeah, I think I'm too into the sport now. I don't have that freshness, like where everything was new for me. And even like...
That's what you needed for this to work, though.
It's true. It's true.
Backstage in the Delaware last year, and I started cramping with my calves. Then it went up to my thighs. He told me to lay upside down. I didn't have time to put my feet up. Continued to cramp up into my legs, up into my abs, at which point he informed me that what happens next is the heart. It goes up throughout the body. Well, yeah.
It goes up to the bottom.
And he's laughing.
My heart seizing from lack of fluids. So he went and he got me...
This became very important in Raising the Bar 2.
Yeah.
Where you started cramping, but also a competitor died in Raising the Bar 2 from... Well, he had a heart problem.
It wasn't from that.
It wasn't from that, but...
I did all that work. I wanted to win. I didn't want Gerald to come up and just because my heart was going to cramp, he takes first.
Nice bravado there.
It's just my heart was going to cramp.
Oh, this was such a long day, such a long and exhausting day.
It's always a long ass day.
It's like
always
2 complete shows.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this was all new to me, and so I wanted to capture every bit of it that I could. And I don't know how I got the permission to go anywhere and shoot.
Well, it's a local show. It's not the Nationals.
True.
Although I still don't think you would get permission nowadays.
No. But also, I don't think a lot of people were doing what I was doing.
Nobody was.
I mean, there was a girl, and you'll see some shots of her, a bored college student shooting the probably very bad stage
yawning,
video.
Right?
And yawning. What? Other than that, no, there was nobody sort of chronicling. Now everyone's got their phones on.
Yeah.
Backstage, there's dozens, hundreds of people filming every little aspect of it. I got lucky. I got lucky that I was doing it at a time where it was just not being done. Lance also shows up in Raising the Bar 2. He's a big part of the sequel to this, where Dave actually trains Lance for the next year's contest. And Lance
Jose, he did come in better this year. I still would have beaten him though, had he decided to go head to head.
You got to realize I'm just one person shooting all of this, so I'm trying to shoot
make it
judges,
look like,
right? Trying to make it look like it's a multi-camera shoot.
Which you do a really good job
of. I'm running out, I'm grabbing stage footage, and I'm running backstage. I'm shooting the audience. I'm shooting and putting it all together smoothly.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of running around. You've got to be in good shape for it.
Good cardio shape.
Yeah, good cardio shape, and it was hot in that place that day.
Yeah.
It was really hot.
Well, the air conditioner wasn't working.
And you've got to be alert to when the people that you want to shoot are coming on stage, so you can be in the right position.
Right.
And you've got the freedom. That's funny. The freedom to get in the right position. In this place, I did. I had the freedom to move wherever I wanted.
I can't believe he showed up.
He has a tricep.
Arms at your sides.
That's not the arm you're talking about.
Number 14.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, he really was.
Not that arm. The other one that you have hitting the guy in front of his back.
Yeah, I kind of hated to show that because it's embarrassing for him, but it did show how poorly he was prepared, as well as these guys.
People just show up, and look at that.
It's like he
they just show up. Look, he wasn't really.
He wasn't really laughing at that. He was laughing at something else. Of course, that's
the tan lines and hair and
but there are guys like this still at every show.
Was she laughing at him?
No. None of the laughing scenes are people
anything real
at these guys. Remember, I'm shooting everything myself.
Dude, there are people just walking around. There she is.
That's the girl shooting this show. The official video of the show.
Of course, you capture her yawning. It's great.
Of course. You know how many shots I had to take of her to capture that yawn?
Really?
A lot. Yeah, I was shooting her a lot. Shooting everything a lot.
Dude, this is Brian natural. He's just a talent.
Brian was natural because he was a police officer and couldn't risk any.
And that's what he did natural.
Any sort of drugs.
Imagine.
Yeah, Brian was
Here's Victor on stage at 12 weeks out.
Yeah.
There's Shannon.
Shannon, who you still work with.
Yes, who at that time was dating him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's that special effect I was talking about. That doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that makes it so much more exciting.
That doesn't help it at all.
I wasn't interested in his posing routine until you did that.
I never.
Look at those divisions. Oh my God.
I know. And that's what we were waiting for.
And it's hot.
My long-suffering girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, she was actually good that day. She did that for the camera. She was, everyone was kind of fed up by the end of the day.
You know what? Kudos to him for showing up.
Well, but then he disappeared. He never made it through the show.
He didn't come to the night show?
No, he never came back.
Well, you don't show up for half the show. You don't do that.
Why not? How's he supposed to know what the competition is going to look like?
You don't do that because it's the worst thing you can do is not show up for the night show. It's sour grapes and it's really bad.
I see. Well, I think he also realized he was never coming back to bodybuilding ever
again. And don't
again.
show up at all.
Ever again.
Right. Just don't go to the show.
Yeah.
Now here's Sammy. He brought it.
Yeah, it's a good physique.
And honestly, I was worried.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's a good competition.
He's dry. He's ready.
I don't know what that thing was. That pan across. I don't know why I did that.
You know what? He slipped on a banana peel. At the end of the day, this really was my only competition.
Yeah.
He really was. Just the only person I considered competition.
Yeah.
Banned from the Delaware, Dave continues to wait for the East Coast competition while the women get ready to go on.
And of course, I cue the sexy porn music.
Jack. Jen, of course, kicks ass in the show. And Vicky wins a lot of divisions as well. It's Daisy.
Vicky was good, but she was dealing with knee problems and couldn't really...
Yeah. Like even back then, I mean, I can imagine how she's feeling these days.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe people watch this over and over? Someone, a friend of mine, he's a Masters competitor. He's getting ready for a show. He goes, "Of course, I broke out by raising the bar."
Well, I think it harkens back to when they first saw it and how it affected them, and they want that feeling again.
I guess so.
And it has nothing to do with how old it is. It's kind of ageless in that way, or timeless, rather.
Yeah.
Anyway, I choose to believe that.
Right. Well, there's something about it, that's for sure.
I am sweating. Well, it's 1,000 degrees in there, Jennifer.
And I, not to blow my own horn, but I've seen other people try to do this, and I just don't think most of the time it comes off. This is the fitness thing, right?
That's fitness, yeah.
That's fitness.
Yeah, I mean, you had to,
Moves
you had to do acrobatics on stage. You had to have the conditioning of a figure girl.
Yeah.
Look good in the suit.
And then inexplicably, the girls changed bathing suits.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore.
And they came back again.
They don't do that anymore. That used to be so time-consuming. I don't know why they had the one-piece round.
And then the
I don't.
round. Yeah.
Why are they going to cover your abs in one?
Maybe it was from when there weren't that many competitors, but now you have so many female competitors that would.
And maybe it was a way to sell more suits.
So it was about the money. Nice move, Vicky.
Of course.
She was good. She was good. Had good stage presence.
Vicky was a masterful poser.
Masterful poser. Good stage energy.
That's why she turned pro.
Yeah.
Shortly after this, as a matter of fact, at the Team U, she turned pro. Yeah. The same show that Kai Green turned pro. Little tidbit of information.
Oh, that's right. They turned pro at the same time.
Same show,
that's right. Kai Green and Vicky turned pro at the same show.
Go get Dave.
It's almost like having a security.
More painting. I was under the belief that you couldn't be too dark.
Can you be too dark?
Well, there's my hiney. Skin.
Do you still see him?
I've talked to him on social media.
Well, my shooting isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Telly was a man. He was so organized.
Oh, Telly was. If you didn't have Telly that day,
I don't know what I would have done.
This wobbly shooting is terrible. I apologize for it, but it is what it is.
This is them gathering me from the backstage. I didn't even have a chance to pump up. If you noticed, I just got painted.
Oh, that's right.
And I was late, so I just had to walk out. I did no pumping up, which could have thrown me mentally, but that's my pump up right
there. You're pumping up.
That was it.
Yeah.
And then they'd go on stage and.
So these are the competitors from outside of Delaware, right?
Yes, anyone. Well, there's also Delaware residents.
You could do both if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't be from outside and do the Delaware, but you can be from Delaware and do the East Coast.
So this was the East Coast competition, a completely separate thing.
Right. And there's Lance showing up like he owns the place with no conditioning.
Lance was a former football player who thought it would be easy to, probably the biggest guy in his gym.
He had no idea.
Who thought he could just go to a bodybuilding show.
He was arrogant and uneducated.
Right.
I handed his ass to him on a platter.
And was it at that time that he was like bad-mouthing you on social media? So it was for that show. And I guess he thought that part of it was...
He thought he was going to show
was trash talking.
Yeah. Like football.
Right. And he didn't realize it really wasn't like that.
You have to actually... you can't jive your way through this. You know? You're fat.
Now, of course, that was not him watching you.
You don't need to know that. They don't need to know that.
I am telling this to, my
looking,
editing friends.
It looks like he's looking at me.
Right? It sure does, because I know what I'm doing.
Yes, you do.
But that was not him watching you.
Go to the gallows.
And his posing is terrible.
Hit a couple one-arm most musculars. There we go. That should work.
Just walk from one pose to another and nothing in between.
You have the conditioning of a walrus. He thought he could just show up with that and he beat everybody.
He's got a good basic structure, though. He's got some nice...
He does, if you actually put in the work. And the year after, when I worked with him, if you remember...
Well, that's in Raising the Bar, too, if people want to see that.
If you remember, he looked a lot better.
Dave trains this guy to compete. Unfortunately, in that documentary, he ended up going against a seasoned professional.
Yeah,
was he a pro at that time?
No. You can't be a pro.
Oh, that's right.
Be competing against an
but a
amateur.
seasoned competitor who handily
Craig
beat him.
Torres.
Craig Torres, that's right. A good friend of ours.
Mhm.
Great guy, funny guy.
Yeah, he stood no shot.
This was the famous, after the morning show, cheat meal that everyone looks forward to. And they still talk about it in social media, always waiting for when they can eat all the junk.
Here's the night show. I miss you, Kahunaville.
What's there now?
I don't know. Oh, it's a kids museum that no one goes to because there's no culture in there. Jack Osborne.
And again, I thought it necessary to show all of the other stuff that was part of a bodybuilding show. At that time, they were including a lot of other things, like old men who shouldn't have been there, who just blew a gasket.
He just fell down.
I think he just pulled a groin muscle.
My God!
But they had things like karate competition, karate demonstrations.
Yeah, and the halftime and the
and stuff that nobody really wanted to see.
Things not related to bodybuilding.
That's our dad
That's
plugging
my
his
father.
ears because of the loud music.
Oh, Victor, really?
No, sorry. What does that mean? Vein, big, go?
I have no idea.
Did they put them in the wrong order or something?
They probably did.
Should have been go, big, vein?
Big vein. Victor acting like he's guest posing.
Here's the martial arts.
Yeah,
thing.
guess what? No one cares.
No one cares.
People are there. They barely care about the bodybuilding.
For some reason, this guy's powerlifting.
Yeah.
Another one of those fitness competitions.
Turn the camera around.
I wanted to eat something, and
really?
Stephanie was holding the camera, and she was filming me. And I was like, no, there's something interesting going on stage.
King Kamali with his piss bucket on his head.
Wow, nice pan.
The final pose down becomes a last chance battle to sway the judges by a point.
Is the final pose down a last chance battle to sway
No,
the
they've
judges?
already decided. They're not even looking at you. It depends. If it's really close, it might be, yeah. But usually, they know who's going to win. And
it's just for
the pose down is just...
It's for fun. It's exciting. It's for the audience. It's cool. But the pose down is one of the best things when everybody goes up against each other. But of course, at that point, you are completely exhausted. And you don't want to have to pose anymore.
You got to pull it from somewhere. You just got to pull it out of your ass. Dan Rapacelli was doing well at that point. I don't know what he ever did, but
did he disappear?
I think he had potential. Yeah, I think he did.
I love those kind of shots where you're zoomed in, so everyone's sort of compressed, and you get all the facial expressions
At once. Yeah.
I love that. That's my favorite kind of shot.
Yeah.
But an
I
extreme
gotta
zoom.
tell you,
Go ahead.
These local shows, you can't. It's not like this at the Nationals.
How do you mean?
The audience response and the audience participation.
Oh, yeah.
and
Did you hear them scream?
Emotions. I mean, this is the Delaware, dude. I mean, look at what you got. Like, just pure elation over the placing, and the audience is going crazy.
Yeah.
I tell you, the audience sits on their hands at these national shows now. But Brian, I don't know why Brian didn't do the Open.
Yeah.
He would have done well.
Yeah. Brian was good.
Yeah.
And when it came time for Adam Gamito's class to be called
This
back
is
on
where
stage,
Adam doesn't show up.
You don't do
he was
that.
nowhere to be found.
Anyway, a technical thing for people who are shooters and editors, one of the things, when you zoom way in, it compresses things, it pushes things, it makes them seem like they're closer together. So you have a lineup like that of faces, and it really makes them seem like they're standing right on top of each other. But it takes an extreme zoom to do that. That also makes it a lot shakier, because any little movement of your hands gets multiplied by the zoom. Makes it much more difficult to shoot, but I just love those kind of shots.
Jose.
Taking the easy win.
I also felt I was in condition to take first. I don't want to be those guys.
He admits it right here.
Next time I come back condition 100%.
No, I'm not coming back next year to do the same show, guys. That was your last opportunity.
Right.
Last opportunity.
Competitor number 22, Daisy Jorgensen. And winning the figure short division
Vicky cleans up in a lot of divisions in this show.
Yeah, well, she was
a little too big for her britches on this show. I mean, her quality was on a different level than local.
That's why she turned pro right after this.
Right.
This is obviously someone who's ready to turn pro. She's clearly superior to almost everyone on stage.
Yeah.
This was her time. Yep. And the best poser, which she was.
Nikki Dixon. Yeah. All right, pump it up. Pump it up.
Pumping eyes.
Look at Jen's face. It starts to slide off her skull again.
She
starts to lose it.
Hey, you like that cutaway?
Yeah, look.
Increase the tension?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She was so...
She started to lose it.
Obvious what she was thinking. Well, I like that. I like when people show their emotions on their face.
Jen, there's her family.
That's Jen's family.
Not Tracy.
Tracy being...
ever the motivator. We'll go get your overall.
One quick hug and then back to business.
Don't dwell.
She was like, "Yeah, don't.
You can't live in the moment.
Rest on your laurels.
You gotta go get the overall."
That's Tracy, man.
Yeah, that's why she is who she is.
This was the moment that Jen had been dreading.
The moment that Jen had been dreading.
It was abs. She's her homework.
Who had been sweeping her.
I actually forget. Did Vicky beat her here?
Now watch this. The interesting thing about this is that Vicky didn't clean it up in every division.
Oh.
But at that time,
right,
Vicky was too muscular for a figure. So they gave it to Jen.
They probably thought she should have been a female bodybuilder.
Correct.
Instead of
which she had been prior to this.
Yeah. I don't know how I forgot that Jen wins because that's so obviously
the filmmaker.
Dude,
and the fact that we both won the overall.
Yeah.
Is like
no, literally, that's how long it's been since I've watched this. Wow. I couldn't stand it after a while.
I guess not. You immersed yourself in this shit
for a long time.
You're still looking at my face. So this is
no, this is the end of the Delaware.
The Delaware, okay, which Sammy handily wins.
Which you were not allowed to compete in because you had won it a year before. That was the point.
So Sammy wins the overall there.
Right.
But he has to go against me on the East Coast. Because he did both.
Now, for some reason, Sammy's little rat-faced girlfriend had a problem with me shooting Sammy.
I saw that.
And there's a point at which I just wanted to show the moment before you two had to go up against each other, the tension on both faces, you know.
And she stands in the way.
And she tries to block me. And it made me really mad. And so I didn't turn the camera off, and I just zoomed in on her instead.
I remember this scene's coming up.
That's our cousin Joe Pulcinella, great photographer.
My routine coming up, which I made up while I was on stage.
A nice preparation.
Amen. Oh, this is me talking about how I just make it up.
Yeah. Did you always do that?
No.
Why did you do that this time when I was filming you?
Because I know I could do it. I've been competing for 1,000,000 years.
Okay.
Was it bad?
No, but I mean...
I wasn't leaving anything to chance.
Special effects.
Do I need special effects?
No.
Do I look like I need special effects? There's Mare.
That's a kind of a cool effect.
Yeah.
Sort of. Boy, no, I wouldn't do any of this stuff now.
No.
I wouldn't do any of those things now.
No.
Nice striations in the lats there.
Striations, yeah. Gotta bring those. Gotta bring those.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. This is hard for me to look at, actually.
Because of the editing?
Yeah, just because like trying to spice it up with cheesy effects.
Yeah, well, you didn't know.
It's not something I try
to learn
anymore. And part of it was me trying to cover up the fact that I didn't shoot the whole routine, and I shot some from far away, and then I would zoom in, and I wanted to cut the zoom.
So you kind of needed to splice it.
And I had to get some of the audience, and I tried to splice it all together.
So here's Sammy winning the middleweight over a very soft Victor, who didn't think he needed the prep because he's just that great.
Yeah, well, to Victor's credit, he did go on to become a good bodybuilder at one point.
Absolutely. Right. Despite himself.
Yeah, despite himself.
So now these are the class winners of the...
Again, I don't know if I would show all of these class winners.
Well, you're setting up the overall pose down between me and Sammy. I think it's kind of nice. Now, here it is.
It's not tedious?
Here's me winning the light heavy.
Right.
See, he wasn't even close. Look at his face. Did you think you were going to do better than that?
What was he, 5th out of 5?
Yeah. Looks like he's in defeat there.
Actually, that was him in defeat.
Was it?
Yeah. That was him right after that announcement. He was visibly upset.
Well, maybe he'll prepare next time.
And I don't think he realized I was shooting him.
That's great.
There you go.
So now I just won the light heavy. Sammy just won the middleweight. So it's time for us to go head to head, right? Oh no, that was me just winning the overall. Never mind.
Dave and Sammy must now go.
Right? Oh no, you're right. Right. Now,
Sammy would mean a symbolic second win of the Delaware title he so desperately wanted.
He's so desperate. Did you desperately
want that desperate?
Yes, you were.
I did this for the movie.
Nah, you wanted that.
I did.
No, look at this.
What did she think she's
I don't
going
know.
to accomplish by doing
What
that?
does she think she's protecting?
I don't know.
And again, I say it in the
Then
movie.
she even shakes her head no.
Like I say it in the movie.
No.
In 2 seconds, he's going to be on stage.
Right.
But you know what? That's
What is she? What
that's
is she
actually
doing?
better than the shot I wanted because it just shows how ridiculous.
No,
this
you
sport
can't
can be.
film him.
When was the last time you looked at these comparisons?
When this was current.
I'm actually editing it it's very difficult to follow. It's not very clear. In fact, now I would make it more clearer. Now I would have 2 or 3 cameras on it.
Right.
And I'd have more options. It's hard to see a good comparison between you two the way I edit it. I admit that. That's got to be frustrating for people.
And at this point, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure who was going to win this.
No, not at all?
No.
Well, you can never tell.
No, I don't know.
From inside your own body. Then I decided I was going to do this little
I like it.
flashback montage. Now remember, at this point, I'm working with the old software on a computer that really can't take what I'm trying to do. And to put this all together, all these little bits and pieces, took forever.
Did it really? Worth it, though. Look at all this.
I'm glad the way it came out, but it was so difficult.
It's like this is a compilation of all of this.
Yeah. Everything that had happened
coming
up to
together
now.
in one moment. In time.
Beat them all.
Beat them all.
The 2004 East Coast Classic bodybuilding champion overall winner is competitor number 69.
There you go. There you go. It's all that tuna.
How long does the good feeling from a win like that last?
I still feel good when I watch it. It just does. It doesn't go away. It's like asking Neil Armstrong.
Our mom, who doesn't want to quite touch you because you're...
I don't blame her. Do you?
No, but it's funny. I like it. I like it.
Stu.
It was very hard to shoot this part of it because the crowd around you was so dense that I couldn't
Oh,
get
really?
it. People were knocking into me, and yeah, but I got the shots that I needed.
Cool. Oh, that's a reaction.
That's a good reaction.
The aftermath.
I shot everything about this thing.
Look at me walking into the Kahuna. That place was fun, man.
That was a fun place.
11:46. Oh, God.
And we probably left your house when? 7 o'clock in the morning?
Remember this?
This was so fortuitous.
Fred.
This kid.
He wasn't expecting that.
No.
He was not expecting her abs to look like that.
But I love when things like this happen. I mean, obviously, it made the end of the movie for us.
Fred was drunk. No, Fred. She just looks like this.
Oh, are you serious?
We're all in that bodybuilding thing.
Oh, so you're feeling good right now? Damn straight. Definitely feeling good.
He needs another shot.
Yeah, I bet you I'm bigger than you. I don't even freaking lift weights, man. Okay, guys. You guys can't look, because you guys are definitely bigger than me, so you can't look. You can't look. All right.
Yeah, like I'm not going to shoot that.
Right.
Actually, wow, you have a nice bicep.
Well, guys, I've now met Miss East Coast. Give it up for my name's Fred, so I'm drunk as fuck. So
Yes, you are, Fred.
Let's hear it for today's youth. Nice meeting you.
Today's youth.
Anyways, guys,
He's no longer today's youth.
No. It's 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
I wonder what Fred's doing now. Probably that.
I wonder what Fred's doing.
Probably exactly that there.
Did you really gain 35 pounds?
I think so.
Mostly water weight,
I'm
right?
just going back to the weight that I was prior to cutting down.
Aw, look, you two are so cute.
Right?
Now you're all lovey-dovey again.
It's because she has some food in her belly.
It's still a pretty good story. I mean, I think after all these years, it holds together.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Again, the camera work is the thing that bothers me the most. But again, that's
It
so,
shouldn't.
so what
It
I
shouldn't.
did was I learned from that, and I got a new camera, and I actually practiced a lot to get steadier and to get better. And that's the thing that I tell people when they ask me, what should I do to make videos like you? I say, make one, look at it, see where it doesn't work, compare it to what you like, and then try it again and do better and do better. And that's
I think the
only way to do
rawness of it is really part of its appeal.
So you're saying I should shoot bad footage some more?
No, I mean it made it more real. And it brought to light more of the fact that my brother was filming this. This wasn't a slick production.
Right, it didn't feel like a professional slick production.
Ow. Great ending, dude.
All right. Do you hear me?
Coming.
I'm coming.
That's great. Here's the credits.
Yeah.
You got to give her credit.
Yeah, Stephanie was a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she put up with me editing it for
Right.
hours and hours. So thanks for listening to our commentary. If you'd like to purchase Raising the Bar 1, 2, or 3, you can go to my website, MikePulcinella.com, and it's there for download. We don't sell DVDs anymore, but you can download it. And thanks a lot. Thanks, Dave, for sitting in with me.
Dude, it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.